I finished reading Wuthering Heights. Let's talk about it. Firstly, I want to say I'm not an English major. I don't have my PhD. Purely just picked this book up because I personally wanted to. All the research I have done on this book has been from various sources that I found online. So just from reading the Penguin Classic and the introduction in the beginning. Understanding Emily Bronte as well as the other Bronte sisters helped me better understand Emily's perspective, her intent, her purpose in writing this novel. Also, I think it is pretty important to understand the historical context whenever you're reading any classic. To understand the historical relevancy, why this book has had the ability to withstand the test of time, why people continue to pick this book up, has so many film adaptations. I think it's important to note that this is Emily Bronte's only novel, and she died a year after publishing this. I think one of the most prominent themes in this book is death. Death forwards the plot in this book. Death was something that happened regularly. It was a part of her life. Her mother died. Some of her sisters had died very early on, and she was mostly raised by her father. Also, she was deeply influenced by Byron. Even her and her sisters publish poetry. So a lot of the quotes that I personally liked are this passionate ferocity of language that I loved. Kind of hard to get into, but then once you enter Nellie's narrative, and it kind of is like this big gossip session of Nellie explaining to Lockwood the background of Wuthering Heights and Thrushcrest Grange, which are two houses that you have on the moors. Nature versus nurture. It's passionate, it's intense, classic Gothic book with romanticism. So romanticism came about in the Enlightenment period, but this is not a romance novel. This is a very toxic love story. Volume 1 of this book, and then you have volume 2 of this book. And volume 1, I feel like, is where people get that romance aspect. Volume 2 is the repercussions of that romance, but it is abuse. It is toxic passion and pain, and it's that cycle of abuse. Isolation in the moors, and you only have these two houses and these families, and the reflection of madness that can come out of isolation. Self-destruction, obsession, but not at all in a healthy way. It's what it is to be tormented as well as to torment. This book is misery. These characters are awful. And I think even for myself, one of the things that I struggled with the most is I realized I love Gothic literature. The ambiance, I love the tragedy and the darkness that's in this book. But one of the things that I struggled with is I like having a character or something to root for. This is not the book's purpose. It is truly Emily trying to send a message about classism, isolation, push the boundaries of societal norms and women. As this book was unable to conform to what I thought it was, does not make this book any less great. This is still a beautiful novel, and it is everything that Emily Bronte wanted it to be. And one of my favorite things about this book was the psychological depth as well as Gothic, wild, untamed nature of the moors and the haunting narrative. And just Emily's beautiful, poetic ferocity of her language. I really love this book. Classic Gothic literature. I need to read more. So put your favorite classic Gothics down below for me to check out. Let me know if you've read Wuthering Heights or if you plan to read it down below, please.